What's up, guys? I'm the Nearsighted Gamer. Thanks for coming to see me. Today I want to talk about a game called What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, this is a game that I've had in my possession for quite some time because it was free on PlayStation Plus, I think a couple of years ago, maybe sometime in 2017. And I heard reviews about it and I heard it being talked about, and it was a game that I wanted to play and that I eventually planned on getting back to. And this past weekend I did so. I decided to take a break from Dragon Quest and everything else that I've been playing just to dip in my backlog, and I saw it there and I was like, why not? Because I knew this game was only a couple of hours, so I decided why not just jump into it and see if it's worth everything that people have been saying about it. All right, this game got pretty good reviews. It's from Giant Sparrow. They're the team behind a game called Unfinished Swan that also was released on PlayStation Plus and PlayStation in general a few years back, and this was the next game that they came out with. Now, the premise of this game is pretty cool in my opinion. Well, not cool, but interesting to have a game of this type. And I'm trying to think how to put it to you, and if I want to mention one of the key points of the game. People do it in their reviews, so it's not like I would be the first one to do it. But I don't know if I should just tell you just to go in blind. You know what? I'm just gonna do it like this. Okay, the story centers around Edith Finch, who is the last in her family's bloodline, and she inherits her house whenever her mother dies, who had it, and now she's the sole owner. So she goes back to the house to, I don't know, maybe collect things or just revisit it, for the fact that she hasn't been there since her and her mother moved years ago. As you go through the house, you find out that all the rooms have been not boarded up, but sealed up, and the only way you're able to see through them is through peepholes, and you find all these secret passages to make your way through the house. And as you go through each family member's room, you get little looks inside their lives and you find out about them. Now, the aspect that I didn't want to mention, but I'm going to have to, is that she's the last in her line. I said that, but everyone in her family dies in some sort of weird or unexpected way. It's kind of said that maybe that her family has a curse, but it's not known if this is a curse or if it's just really bad luck. Not a curse, but just really bad luck with circumstances and everything like that. Now, when you go through all these, there'll be a letter or some sort of document, something that entails how the person died, and you get to see that memory and experience it through gameplay. By the way, this game is first person. It's a first person walking simulator, which I don't like to use, but it's a first person story driven game. So you can move the character around, you can look down and see your feet and all like that. And you go around and you interact with things and you make your way through the house. What's really cool is as you're going through the house, Edith is narrating things and memories that she gets from the house, and they'll appear on a wall or on a table, just laid out, spelled out in text, and then they'll fade away if you happen to move towards them to progress or something like that. But whenever you go back and see the memories or the last memories or just something about each of the family members, you experience those in different ways as well. I'm trying to think of an example to give. Excuse me. I'm trying to think of an example to give that wouldn't really give anything away, but just one type of example. Okay, I'll give it like this. I think it's her grandfather. When you go to his room, he was really into photography. So the way you interact with his is you're his mother, you're Edith's mother, and you're just going around taking pictures of things as her dad narrates. So it'll be still shots or a scene with things, and you have to take pictures, and after you take pictures of so many things or enough key items or key objects, then you move on to the next scene. there are plenty more that I can't spoil, but just the way you interact with the world and the way the storytelling is told, like the text is so cool, like things that are happening, words will be, you know, swirling around or in weird places, but the narrative is what carries the story, of course. But the way they do it, at first when I played it, I knew how the game was and I knew about the whole curse thing and everything. So I got into it, and like at the beginning when I was walking towards the house, I was like, okay. But like after like the first room or in the second room, something like that, I was like, oh man, this is gonna be pretty cool. Like, it's just crazy how they did this game. Like I said, it's only 2 or 3 hours. And as you're going through this house, you can see it's not just a house where it's a house that they lived in. Like, you could imagine them living in this house. There are books all over the place. You can see dishes that were left, tables, you know, for a house to have like the insane amount of people that they did. I think it was like over the course of 3 generations that lived in this house over time, not at once. But you can see and tell that, like, you know, the kids were here. You can see how the walls were, like, you know, things on the wall. You can tell the furniture, the TV, things that in the kids' rooms, toys. It was set up as a kid's room. Like it looks like a kid's room. It makes sense. They did a good job designing the house to make it fit what it was supposed to be. And as you go through all these rooms, you have a journal. I guess you can call it a journal that you can look at whenever you open the pause menu, and you can see the family tree. And as you go into each of these rooms, you fill out the family tree for each of those family members, and you see how they died or how they like got taken out of the picture. And then you finally work your way up to Edith, of course. That's not a spoiler, but I can't say enough about this game without saying too much. It's something that will not waste your time. Like I said, a couple of hours, and you have to play it. You have to give it your time. I'm not one for mainly first-person games, but in this case, it's fine because there's no combat or anything like that. You're just interacting, you're just being told a story. If you want to tell a story, if you like being told a story, and you want just something to think about, I definitely recommend you play this game. There were a couple of times, at least 2 that I can think of right off the bat, where after I read or after I was told the story of one of the family members, I had to sit my control down and take a minute. Like, things got serious. They don't hold anything back. They tell a very engaging story, and it just makes you wonder, like, is this a curse or is it just extremely bad luck for the family? Like, you found out about it. And it's another thing is you're going back to the house, and as you go through this house, you're like, okay, first you're in like the living room, you know, the base floor, upstairs and all that. But then you just keep going up and around. You can tell how they just continue to build on to this house, you know, for added people staying in, because it was the type of family who wanted everyone to be around and not leave, just everyone be together because, you know, family and stuff like that. But they just continue to build on to this house and build up and build around and out here and like underground and places like that. Like, really? Like, how is this house, like the structure, the parts that were completely added on and like were just stairs and wooden balconies and ways to get to it? Like, how was that not falling? I wouldn't want to sleep up there. That was insane. And that's where like some kids were staying and all that. That's one thing I was thinking of because that's me, I guess, as a parent, but whatever. So I hope I've done a decent enough job to convince you to play this game. First person, story driven, walking simulator that you can go around and be told an excellent story with decent gameplay for what you can get. And just the design and the way that the stories are told are what makes this game shine. It's really, really interesting, and I think you'll be greatly entertained by everything that goes on. And whenever you're done with it, you won't feel like you've wasted your time. I didn't, and I don't think you would either. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm the Nearsighted Gamer. Like me, like this video if you like it. If you don't like it anyway, because I said so. Follow me on Twitter, Nearsighted Gamer, GAMR. I have a Facebook page as well. You can go there and like it if you would. Facebook.com/Nearsighted Gamer. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. It'll take like 2 seconds. Thanks. I really would appreciate it if you subscribe. And if you know anybody who hasn't subscribed, get them to do so too. You'd be helping me out. Thanks a lot. I guess that's it. So all that's left to say is, as always, be excellent to each other. See you, pupils.